Welcome to the second interaction of Unit 2. I'm sharing the screen with the model answer of Unit 2. English subject, first language. Question number 1 was language study. First question, as usual, I have written accept any meaningful sentence. You were supposed to form a sentence with a phrase or an idiom given. The sentence should be meaningful for 1 marks. The second, any two correct words of minimum 4 letters from Constitution. So whatever words you can form using Constitution, each word should have 4 letters, and you are expected to form two correct words for 1 mark. The third question, in fact, was that you have to write two words in past participle form where the last letter is doubled. So this is the answer. Shopped and skipped. This is just an example. You can write many more such words like clapped, hopped, where you double the last letter while adding ed. There is a particular reason, a rule why you double it. The last letter is a consonant which is preceded by a vowel. So when you are using ed or ing, the last consonant is doubled. The final consonant is doubled. The fourth one, Mary Com was sure. This was find out the error. Mary Com was sure the popularity of boxing in India is the correct answer here. Then he refused to accept the laws are unable to protect our children. In this question, you are expected to underline the infinitives. Now, how to write this? First, write down the sentence and then underline to accept and to protect in order to get 1 full mark. Do not just use the infinitives, find out the infinitives and write in complete sentence. Sixth one, now you can please tell me what you just heard he said. This was punctuation question, which is very easy and everyone was able to do it, I suppose. Now, any two words in a chain, you are asked to write a word chain. You can be asked to write a word chain of noun, verb, or adjective. Or if you do not have any condition there, you can make a word chain of anything you like, but the word should be meaningful and it should be in proper chain. Even if one word of the chain goes wrong, you will get a zero there. So you have to be very, very careful. Now the next one was none of these answers convinced the king. This was kind of voice changing. So whatever the sentence given was, you had to write none of these answers convinced the king. Then there any meaningful sentence using the word that was given. Two sentences you're framing here. The first sentence with a phrase and the second sentence with a verb. As a noun, as a verb, there can be many conditions. When the word is given, the conditions will be mentioned there. Read them properly. It will be that if it is a noun, you have to use the sentence in the form of a noun to show that the meaning is that of a noun. And if it is a verb, then you will have to use it as it is in a form of a verb, where the meaning will be in a form of a verb. Then the last one was based on model auxiliary, and the model auxiliary there was could, and could indicates the mood ability. So this is all about language study. Let's go to the second question. Second question, as usual, 2A was scene passage. So read the following passage, do the activities, arrange the following sentences in proper sequence as they appear in the passage. So this was just arranging. You had to read the complete passage. Okay, you had to read the complete passage and you had to find out where you are getting. Now you have the complete passage on your screen, so you can see how you need to arrange this properly. Now in the arrangement also, let me tell you children, if the first arrangement is right and the rest are wrong, you get half a marks. If two are right, you get 1 mark. If three are right, you get 1.5. And if all the four are right, you get 2 out of 2. But a warning is that if you have mistaken the first one, if you go wrong in the first one, if your first sentence is wrong or the first in order is wrong, then the complete order gets wrong. Therefore, you get a 0 if the first one is wrong. So you have to be very, very careful while arranging in proper sequence. Now let's go to the second question where find and write. You had to find from the passage about the difficulties, that hardships that Job faced. And these are the difficulties. He didn't have a dorm room. He slept on the floor in the friend's room. He returned Coke bottles for 5 cent deposits to buy with. He would walk 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at Hare Krishna temple. Answer has to be written with the diagram. I have not shown the diagram here, but it's a web chart question. So you have to write the answers in diagram. If you do not draw the diagram, you will lose half a mark there. Okay, you get 1.5 out of 2 even if all the answers are correct. Since there are 4 points given in the passage already, please write those 4 points. Do not break the points. In some of the students, they tend to break the points. For example, some of the students write they would walk 7 miles across, that is one hardship, and he would get one good night meal a week at Hare Krishna temple, that's a different hardship. But it is connected, as it is connected, as it is written in the passage, because it's a question of complex factual from the passage. So you are expected to write it from the passage. Okay. Then let's go to the next question, that is antonyms. Find antonyms on your own for the following words. So you did not have to look for antonyms in the passage. These words already exist in the passage. You have to find out antonyms on your own. So best, worst, interesting, uninteresting, priceless, worthless, never, and always. Now, why I'm showing you the answer sheet here is you are expected to write antonyms in this form. Nobody will use is equal to sign because that is for synonyms. You're going to use this cross sign for showing antonyms. And you just have to don't write the answers alone. You have to write the words first, then put a cross sign, and then write your answer. That will be a perfect answer, and that will give you a perfect 2 as well. Best, worst, interesting, uninteresting, priceless, worthless, and never, always. Then let's come to do as directed part. In do as directed part, first one was change the degree. It is one of the best decisions I had ever made. That was a sentence given to you. You had to begin with very few decisions I ever made were as good as this, as it was. Now, in any grammar sentence, even if you go wrong by one word here and there, you will get a 0. So you have to be very careful. All the changes to be done simultaneously in the rough, and then finally you frame a sentence in fair, and then you write it down. Very few decisions. Why? This is because this was a restricted condition here in the sentence. When I said that it is one of the best decisions, or one of the best, shows that it is a restricted comparison. So one of the best for positive degree begins with very few. Very few decisions I ever made were as good as it was. Go to the second one. Very simple sentence. I slept on the floor. You just have to identify the tense of the verb. So slept, underline that. Here I have put it on bold, but when you are writing in the paper, you please see that you underline the verb and then you mention the tense. I slept on the floor. It's a simple past tense. Just don't mention past tense. Mention simple past tense. Personal response question. The question asked was very simple. What are the qualities of Steve Jobs that you find very inspiring in the passage? You can have many qualities. All those qualities are hardships that he faced. That shows that he had to struggle a lot, but he had succeeded. So there's no shortcut to success. You have learned from this passage about his qualities, that he was a very brave person. Then he had a decision making power. He had the problem solving power. He was an independent minded. He thought, he heard his heart out, isn't it? So many things. And he was very determined to do what he wanted. So all these positive qualities, virtues that you find from Steve Jobs are really inspiring. Okay, so make a nice good answer of say 25 to 30 words, 2 to 4 sentences to get, in order to get 2 marks. You can end your answer with some relevant slogan, quotation, or even Steve Jobs quote. You can use there: stay hungry, stay foolish. He has made you learn this through his life, that if you stay hungry and stay foolish, you will definitely be successful in life. So you can use such relevant quotes, you can use slogans, you can use proverbs to end your answer, in order to make your answer look complete to the reader. The reader should be satisfied with your personal response to give you two marks out of 2. Okay. So let's go to question number 3 now. Question number 3A, read the given extract and do the following activities. That contains 5 marks. A1 is simple factual question. The poet wishes dash dash dash. Animals are not crazy about dash dash dash. Simply you have to find out from the poem and write it down. You don't have to think here. And you can just lift the lines from the poem and you can write it down. So the poet wishes he could live with the animals, and animals are not crazy about owning things. You get 2 marks. Find 4 values that can be learned from animals and write them. Now, this question in the poem is a global understanding or a theme-based question, where you have to understand the theme, understand the central idea of the poem, and then write down. So, what are the 4 values that you learn? In fact, when you read the poem, you continuously find that almost all the lines give you some of the other value of the animals. So you can write any 4 here. I have mentioned a few. Animals are placid, they are self-contained, they do not complain, they do not weep for their sins, they are not dissatisfied, they do not own the dementia or mania, with the mania of owning things. So these are all good qualities that human beings should learn from animals. You can add one or two lines on your own, but those lines should be concluding lines. You will not add anything on your own because it is again asked from the, although this is the theme which you're expected to write in your own words, but the theme basically should be taken from the poem. Okay. Then go to activity 3. Give 2 examples of tautology from extract. So you have there's no need to explain here, because if you are able to find out the correct answer of tautology, that means it is taken for granted or considered that you know what tautology is. So you need not to explain. Okay. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things, and they do not sweat and whine about their condition. Those sweat and whine are not exactly similar, but they indicate a similar idea, and hence this example is included in tautology. Now let's go to question number 3b. 3b, given extract is given, write an appreciation of 100 words. In the activity sheet, I had given an extract of the poem. But in your final activity sheet, you are going to get the complete poem for writing an appreciation. So in that complete poem, you already know the title and poet. Here you had to identify the title and the poet because I had just given a 2-stanza extract in the activity sheet. So here you had to identify the title, identify the poet, central idea, write the central idea in 30 words, 2 to 3 sentences, write the rhyme scheme. If there's no rhyme scheme, then what do you call it? Whether it's a free verse, whether it's a blank verse, you have to maintain all these things. Then write the figures of speech. While writing the figures of speech, it is expected that you have to mention at least 2 to 4 figures of speech. Mention, state, okay? And then you have to give one example, not of each, just one example of any figure of speech that is very remarkably found in the poem, along with the explanation. If you say that this particular line is an alliteration, you have to mention why this is an alliteration. Okay. And finally, in one line, you can conclude by saying, I like this poem because of its simplicity. Last time I told you that how you are supposed to conclude the appreciation. Appreciation should be written in 100 words in one single paragraph only. Okay. Paragraph format. For first language English, it is paragraph format. So you're going to write it in a paragraph format with a proper title, with everything. When you write the title, when you write the poet, when you write the central idea, you have to underline these subheads. Title of the poem is title underline, title of the poem underline, poet underline, name of the poet underline, central idea you have to underline, rhyme scheme when you're writing free words, underline free words. This is how you maintain your presentation also. Since it's a language paper, your presentation matters too. And when you're writing about figures of speech, underline figures of speech. Okay. So this is how you can score full 5 marks in appreciation. Now let's go to question number 4. Here, read the given passage and write a summary in your own words. Give it a suitable title. In the last session, I have already discussed with you what are the 5 points that you're supposed to use in a summary. I may not use it again. I may not discuss it again in detail, but I have given the points here. Title is very important. Keywords you have to find out. Write it in a single paragraph. As far as possible, write it in your own words. Do not try to copy every line from the passage. That's not a summary. Okay. And you have to maintain that, because see, you are writing in brief. For example, you are making a paragraph of 150 words into just 30 or 35 words. So what are you supposed to get in that 30 or 35 words? That is the theme. The theme is very important there. You have to read the passage. You have understood the theme. You have to mention the theme in your own words. You can use the keywords from the passage, compile it into a single paragraph of 30 to 40 words. With the title, give a very good summary. Okay. A summary about turmeric you had to write in this particular paper, because I had given you a paragraph about turmeric, use of turmeric and medicinal use and household use. Okay. And finally, question number 5 is about writing skills. Writing skill, I had given you speech writing here. I'm going to discuss in detail about speech writing. Speech writing is an easier option because it comes in along with view counter view, which is a difficult option to solve. If you're very good at debating, if you're very good at writing for, in favor and against the notion, then it's good. But sometimes while writing, we tend to make certain mistakes in view counter view, and that is why the better selection would be selecting a speech, because I find it through you, I find it is easier to write. What are the following points, or these are the following points that you have to remember when you are writing a speech. The first point is the salutation part. Every point carries mark. When I say 5 marks, every point here in writing skill of speech, developing or drafting a speech, carries 1 mark. It's a salutation carries half a mark. Self-introduction carries half a mark. Introduction of the topic carries half a mark. 2 marks here. Detailing carries 2 marks, and 1 mark is conclusion. 1 mark is reserved for grammar and vocabulary that you should not lose when you're writing. Writing. Everybody has got a different style of writing. So, how to make your speech very good? Salutation. The salutation will depend upon the topic that is asked, because every time the salutation cannot be welcome to all of you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's going to be different, isn't it? Respected principal, members of the staff, and my dear friend, this is going to be a salutation when you are asked to write a speech, draft a speech which you're going to give in the assembly, in the school assembly. And now times have changed, so you may not be asked a question like this. So you have to read the question carefully and find out what should be your salutation according to the question. Okay, if you are participating in an elocution contest, then please do not forget to mention about the judges. So honorable judges, that has to come, this phrase has to come in the salutation part. So your salutation is going to depend completely upon the topic that has been given to you. After that, you introduce yourself. Avoid mentioning your own name. Give some fake name there. Introduce yourself. Please do not begin the introduction with myself, because it's wrong. While in class, I've already told you, you cannot begin your introduction using myself. So please say there, I am so and so from class 10th B, 10th A, and I'm going to speak on the topic environmental pollution, whatever the topic has been given to you. I'm taking an example. Okay, and you have to you can also use a few lines in the introduction saying that I'm indeed very grateful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to stand before you to speak on the topic so and so. Okay, and then you start, and then you change the paragraph when you are detailing the topic. Now when you're detailing the topic, children, just a hint that if you want to make your speech very catchy and very appealing, please make use of a couple of, not many, a couple of rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions that will lead or that will provoke the thoughts of the readers. Don't you think that we are responsible for creating environmental pollution? Question mark. You're not expecting any answer, but you are making your speech a little bit interesting, or by provoking the reader to think that, okay, this can be a very important part of the speech. Okay, so introduction of the speech, detailing, conclusion. You have to conclude the speech by saying thank you. There are many ways to say thank you, or you can just say thank you, or you can say, I'm very grateful for lending your patient ears, or you can say, I'm grateful to the silent audience for cooperating and for listening carefully to my speech. There can be various ways of concluding or saying thank you. Okay, so you can write that one line and conclude. I don't know. I cannot promise you that you will be getting 5 out of 5, because there are some, or usually I've seen that there are some grammatical errors while framing the sentence. There are some spelling errors while writing. So that gets you low marking. But 4.5 maximum, the board definitely will award you in this question if you write a very, very good speech. So this is salutation. Remember this: salutation, self-introduction, introduction of the topic, detailing, conclusion. This can be written in 2-3 paragraphs, but maximum of 3 paragraphs, not more than that. Please see that you write it in 2-3 paragraphs. And one more thing is, again, the word limit is 100 words. So they should not exceed more than 1 page. If you have a very, very big, large handwriting, then it may go to 1.5 page, but that is the max limit, maximum limit. You should not exceed the word limit. You should not write it very short. Just in 1 paragraph, you complete the speech and you say, okay, this is 100 words that I was supposed to write. No, your speech should be uniformly written, 1 page, 100 words, 2-3 paragraphs. I think I've given you all the tips regarding writing a speech, and that was all for this particular paper. So I hope that you all have understood how to write the paper, or how to solve the questions, sorry. And probably if you have not done well this time, you'll definitely do well in the next activity sheet. Thank you very much.